Hello students, in the last class we discussed about the causes of soil erosion and importance of soil profile we learnt. So now we discuss about the next part, that is when soil gets eroded, what are the impacts? So effects of soil erosion. When soil gets eroded, it loses its fertility. When the soil loses its fertility, so the growth will be reduced, nutrients will be reduced, and yield will also be reduced. Next, textural change. The water holding capacity of the soil will be reduced. Water holding capacity of the soil will be reduced, and that may convert it into drought-like conditions. The soil which is eroded will end up in water bodies, and that is nothing but siltation of water bodies. The collection of silt in water bodies. Silt is nothing but clay-like particles which are collected in the water bodies. So when siltation of water bodies takes place, it reduces the generation of electricity, navigation will be affected, it may end up in floods, or it may result in floods during especially heavy rains, because in the reservoirs water holding capacity will be reduced, so it cannot hold the water, so that results in floods. Okay, so the next one, generation of waste lands and desertification, because when soil erosion takes place, the top fertile layers will be removed, that ends up in what desertification, because biological productivity has been reduced due to soil erosion. Loss of biodiversity, because the organisms may die and perish due to the loss of soil, and there will be loss of vegetation, forest cover will be reduced, groundwater will be depleted, and microbial decomposition will also be reduced. So these are the effects of soil erosion. Next, how soil erosion affects food production or food. So when the soil gets eroded, in that kind of soil, if the cultivation has taken place, the crops will be less nutrient, they are less disease resistant, especially the taste of the crops will be less, and growth will be affected, nitrogen fixation will be reduced, mainly yield will be reduced. Next, what are the impacts of soil erosion? Especially these two are the impacts of soil erosion. One is siltation of waterways, and how because rains and heavy rains especially will carry away the soil and ends up in dams. So that results in siltation of waterways. So when siltation of water bodies takes place, that means especially the soil deposits will be carried away, and it will end up in water bodies. Fertile soil will be carried away, and it end up in the rivers, and the deposit of the soil, it will cause us floods, and soil which is rich in nutrients is easily carried away, and it ends up in the sea. And definitely when there will be loss of nutrients, and it does not support vegetation, and also it affects the navigation of the rivers. Second one, on dams, how it will affect soil erosion, because the dam traps the sediments and the nutrients of the soil. Due to that, it disturbs the ecological balance, and decreases the underground water, and moisture of the soil will be reduced, and especially reduction in the fertility of farmlands and forests, because the natural fertilizers and irrigation will be reduced. and upstream movement of fishes for breeding will be reduced, and the river temperature and chemistry will be affected or changed. Then what are the methods that helps us to conserve the soil? First, we have to protect the land surface from the impacts of rainfall and wind, because rainfall and wind carry away the soil easily. So we have to protect the land surface from the impacts of rains and wind. How we can protect? By afforestation, by planting more trees. That is the most important thing. Because trees will bind the soil firmly to the ground, and by afforestation even we can increase the infiltration of water or percolation of water into the land or soil, and by modifying the chemical and physical properties of soil we can improve the soil structure, and we can reduce the velocity of wind by planting the trees on the at the edges of the or at the boundaries of the fields. That process we call it as tree breaks. So when you plant the trees around the field, so that will protect the speed of the wind or velocity of the wind, and hence the soil will be conserved, because it will not be carried away easily. By using biomanures and biofertilizers, we can retain the fertility of the soil. So now let us discuss about the soil conservation strategies. So there are many strategies are there. In that, first one, afforestation. So afforestation is nothing but the planting the trees and plants. Plantation will be done. So how that plantation will be done? So the plantation will be done in uncultivated lands, or wherever the vegetation is cleared already. So wherever there is no active free areas where no agricultural activities are taking place, in that kind of lands we can carry out the afforestation, because afforestation is very important, as it holds the soil firmly to the ground, and water infiltration will be increased, and even it prevents the pollution of air also. It prevents the pollution of air. The next one, this is how land use. Land use plays a major role in the conservation of soil, because we are having different kinds of land. Some lands we are using for infrastructural activities, some lands are forests, some lands are pasture lands, and some lands are used for cultivation of crops. So in that way we are using the, but if you are using the land uh, that is meant for especially forest cover for recreational activities, then the productive land cover will be reduced. That results in the loss of vegetation. Okay, so here land use. What is the meaning of land use? Land use nothing but it is the management and modification of the natural environment or uncultivated land into a built environment, such as settlements, semi-natural habitats, and such as arable fields, pasture lands, and managed woods. So arable fields means the lands which are used for agricultural activities, and pasture lands which is like a grassland that is used for the grazing of animals, and managed woods, that is nothing but forests. So here we are converting the converting the lands into different categories. We are managing and modifying the natural environment into different kinds of built environment, and that built environment includes arable fields, pasture lands, managed woods, etc. But when you are converting that natural environment into built environment, so after that, if you are using arable fields or agriculture lands for infrastructural activities, that leads to land degradation. So here, if a land that is meant for forest cover, if that is reduced, so definitely that leads to soil erosion. So grasslands, it mainly used for grazing of animals. If instead of grazing of animals, or if the land is overgrazed, then it loses its fertility and it may end up in desert. It may end up in desert. So here this is a arable field or agricultural land where cultivation of crops takes place, and this is a land which is used for recreational purpose. This is a land which is used for recreational purpose, and this is forest cover, and this is a pasture land or the land which is used for the grazing of animals. So in that way, so even the natural environment we have to convert it to a built environment. That means the land whatever it is there, so we have to use accordingly depending on the nature of the land. Then only we can prevent the soil erosion. Then what might be the reason for the improper usage of land? So what are the reasons for improper usage of land, or the the causes for the change in the land use pattern? So main thing is population, human population, increase in the human population. So because with the increase in the population, more demand for food and shelter will increase, and developmental activities also will also increase. So because of that reason, productive lands will be used for all the agricultural activities, for infrastructural activities, that results the vegetation cover. Then changing of lifestyle and socio-economic status, because we are leading a lavishing lifestyle. So lavishing lifestyle uses more resources, and that results in the degradation of the land, and the people will migrate to urban areas in search of better jobs and better life. So that reduces the uh, productive land, because the people leave the productive lands, and they will migrate to the urban areas, because when urban areas increases, the productive lands are used for developmental activities and infrastructural development. Okay, then the industrial development, because the productive lands are used for the industrial development, that will also changes the lands, the land cover. Then the developmental projects like roads, railways, dams will also use as the productive lands. So human population, urbanization, and changing of socio-economic status and lifestyle, and especially reduction in agricultural proficiencies, because due to some lack of knowledge or lack of availability of resources, the agricultural activities may be hindered. So that may result in the change in the land use. So, and industrial development also, and increasing the developmental activities like construction of roads, railways, dams, etc. will also affect the land. Then when land improper usage of land takes place, how it affects? How it affects? Definitely it results in deforestation, because definitely it results in deforestation, and deforestation in turn results in habitat destruction. It disturbs the water cycle, because the land loses the water holding capacity. So water cycle gets disturbed, and it may result, it will result in soil erosion, and landslides will also occur, and urban development especially will causes more air and water pollution, and we are converting farmlands and forest into urban, especially into urban areas, that will results in the for deforestation, and availability of food and timber production will also be reduced if forest covers are reduced, and it decreases the forest products, because availability of forest products will be reduced, and with that extinction of animals will also takes place. So if we change the land use pattern, or if the land use patterns are changed, or we are using improperly the lands. Now the next strategy is contour bunding. It is one form of cultivation of crops. So here what they are converting the flat land into contours and bunds. So contours or bunds we can say. So between the two contours or bunds we have the layer that is channels where water flows. So these are the two contours. On the contours or bunds the crops will be grown, and between two contours we have channels that will in that channels water will flow, so that the soil will absorb the water, and soil erosion will also be prevented. So here mainly advantages of this contour bunding is it reduces the soil erosion, because it will hold soil is able to, by contour bunding form, so the soil will be able to hold the soil hold the nutrients properly, and it absorbs, soil moisture will be increased, and easily the rain water will percolate into the soil, and it avoids the gully formations, and even it also minimizes the velocity of flowing water, because when the water flows it will flow with a high velocity, and the because by the this arrangement, that is contours and channels, so the velocity of the water will be reduced, that helps in the absorption of water by the soil. And whatever the soil it is excavated for the terrace, it is used for the farming also. Okay, so these are some of the advantages of bunding or contour bunding. Terrace farming, this method terrace farming, it is mainly used in hilly areas, because from the hills water flows at a higher speed, so the soil cannot hold the water easily, and with that water even soil will be eroded easily. So for that they will cut the land into at right angles to the slope, so that water will be held by the soil easily. So definitely by this arrangement, so the flow of water definitely will be reduced, and it will help for the irrigation activities, and also it prevents the soil erosion, because the runoff of water will be reduced. Runoff of water will be reduced, so that helps for the soil to absorb the water. So that is one method, that is terrace farming. Mainly it is practiced in hilly areas. The next one is crop rotation or alternate cropping. So if you are using a particular land continuously for growing one kind of crops, the soil will lose its fertility. The soil will lose its fertility. For retaining the fertility of the soil, the land or field is used for different kind of growing, for the cultivation of different kinds of. One year if you are using the land for cultivating some grains, the next year it may be used for growing fruits or any other thing, any other kind of crops. So that will helps the soil to retain its fertility. So definitely it reduces the fertility of the soil by altering the crops every year or every time. So that will helps for the soil to retain its fertility, or nutrients will not be lost by wind or water. That is one thing, and especially it controls the growth of weeds. That is, weeds means unwanted plants. So this crop rotation helps to reduce the soil loss, and also it retains the fertility of the soil, and it controls the growth of weeds or unwanted plants. So by this we come to the end of the second part of this lesson. In the next class we will continue. Thank you.